Hello there, readers. How you doing today? It's a beautiful day outside here in Iowa. Don't know what it's like for you, but I do have a story for you. This one's called Eli. And the reason I was thinking about this one is because I was thinking about Richard in Pennsylvania, who has a good friend, Eli, who used to live next door. But now they both moved, but they still get together when the virus isn't happening. Anyway, this is a story called Eli. Woo-hoo. Once upon a time, there was a lion named Eli who lived in a faraway land of Kumbabambazanga. He was a decrepit old cat with a scruffy mop of mane, and most of the thunder was gone out of his roar. Now, after many long years as a proud king of beasts, the old lion had finally become as meek as a mouse. Oh dear, just an old lion. That's Eli. Whenever the other lions gathered for a feast, Eli didn't dare join in. It was much too rough, one big snarling free-for-all with every cat for himself. So the old fellow waited until the lions all had their share, and the hyenas and the jackals had eaten their fill of the leftovers. There's Eli, just over there watching and waiting. Finally, Eli joined the squawking, squabbling flock of vultures for what scraps and small bits he could find in the clutter of bones. The noisy birds were a nagging nuisance to the old lion, and he tried to avoid them as much best he could. Whenever a vulture ventured too close, Eli scared the bird off with a rumbling growl. Rawr! An old cat like me can't afford to be too choosy, he grumbled, or too proud to have dinner with these beggars. So I must put up with their bad manners and their awful squawking, but I'll never make friends with the lowly creatures, not as long as I live. He didn't want to be friends with the vultures. After a time, Eli was able to ignore the birds by pretending they weren't there, just as if he was having dinner alone. Then one day, an old vulture let out such a terrible, ear-splitting scream the lion shook and shivered all the way to his toes. The bird kept screaming and screeching until Eli couldn't stand it anymore, and suddenly he turned on her in a snarling fury. Look why she's squawking. Uh-oh. But when he realized she was screaming for help, that a jackal had caught her by a wing and was about to drag her away, Eli took pity on the poor bird. In one frantic leap, with a wild swing of a paw, Eli caught the jackal with a clout to the snout that sent that little rascal yelping away with his tail between his legs. Paw that old jackal. Once the old bird was free, she was surrounded by a dozen fussy, fretting friends. "Vera, Vera," they cried, "you poor thing, are you hurt? Are you hurt?" "Not in the least," said Vera, "thanks to that dear old lion." "Oh, he is a dear," the birds explained. "One prince of a fellow." All at once, the vultures were flocking around Eli, singing his praises in loud, screechy voices. "Leo's a jolly good fellow! Leo's a jolly good fellow! Leo's a jolly good fellow! Oh, what a great lion he name is not Leo, snarled the miserable lion. I'm Eli, and I'm not great. There's nothing great about saving a worthless old bird. It was nothing at all. So forget it. The birds were happy. But the vultures were not going to forget Eli, not after such a great act of kindness to one of their flock. To them, he was a hero, whether he liked it or not. And to the old lion's dismay, the birds followed him wherever he went. If he took a morning stroll, his faithful followers came fluttering along a short distance behind. Here they are, following him everywhere he went. In the heat of the afternoon, when the old lion flopped down in the shade of his favorite tumbaba tree for a catnap, the vultures were there too, roosting in the branches above. I see enough of these birds at dinner time, grumbled Eli. Without being stuck with them from morning till night, enough is enough. And I have an idea how to get rid of the pest once and for all. I'll insult them. I'll call them all the meanest, most horrible things I can think of. After that, they'll never want to see me again. Eli's plotting how to get rid of the vultures. Do you think it'll work? Raising his voice to a rumble to make sure all the birds could hear, the lion let them have it. You good-for-nothing, grubby old bone pickers! You flea-bitten beggars! You ugly old coots! You give me the creeps! Skedaddle, take off! Get a tree of your own! Leave me be! For a minute, the vultures were so horrified by the sudden outburst that they were left goggle-eyed and speechless. Finally, Vera, the old bird Eli had rescued, spoke up. I can't blame you for feeling this way, she said. We are, indeed, creepy old things. We will do as you wish and leave you be. But no matter what you say, we are still your friends, and in some way we old birds might prove to be useful someday. He is calling them names, trying to get rid of them. That someday came surprisingly soon. It was the very next afternoon. Vera and her vulture friends were circling high above the plain, searching for leftovers when they spotted a band of Zubangas armed with spears sneaking through the bush. Being ever so cautious, Vera swooped down for a better look to discover that the men were tracking a lion. The big bird guessed at once whose paw prints they were, and she took off in a tizzy to warn the old cat. Oh dear. Lion hunters. Vera found the lion in his usual spot under the tumbaba tree, deep in a catnap. Eli, Eli, screeched the frantic bird. Wake up, old lion, wake up! The Zubangas are coming! The Zoo-who's? Mumbled the drowsy, sleepy-eyed lion. The Bangzooies? The lion hunters! The men with spears! They're hot on your trail! Lion hunters? Spears? Wailed Eli, sitting up in a shiver of fright. What'll I do? What'll I do? Go to the Zubanga swamp. Quick, on your feet, follow me. Off they went, with the frantic vulture fluttering ahead, urging the lion to pick up his pace. Faster, faster! Shake your bones, old cat! Run scared, lickety-clip! I am running scared, yelled Eli, But I can't lickety-clip. My top speed is lumpity-clumpity. And he kept lumpity-clumpiting along as fast as his gimpy old legs could carry him. Off they're going to the swamp. What are they going to do at the swamp? There you go, said Vera when they reached the edge of the swamp. Wade into the soup and crouch down in the gunkazunk grass. The Zubangis will never look for you there. No lion to look for, groaned Eli. After those clopper-jawed crocodiles finish me off. Oh dear, crocs all over the place. I forgot about those lousy lizards. Now you've got to hide someplace else. I'm not hiding, Eli muttered under his breath. I'm a lion, and I'm going to be brave and act like a lion. Uh-oh. What's he going to do? All at once, the lion exploded into a great snarling, roaring rage. I'll give them a battle, he roared. I'll give the Zuhoozits, or whatever they are, a battle they'll never forget. And he wheeled around and he went roaring off to meet the Zubangas. No, no, screeched the horrified vulture as she came sailing after him. Stop, don't you dare, you silly old cat. No. He's going after them. In a flick of an eye, Vera caught up to the rampaging lion and cut loose with such a fierce peck on his snout that Eli went rocking back on his heels. Whoa! This is no time to be brave, the bird pleaded. If you put up a fight, you won't last a minute. Then what'll I do? Growled Eli. Act like a ninny? Roll over and just play dead? Yes, cried Vera. Great idea. Roll over and play dead. I mean it. Flop down. Play dead. Go ahead. She wants him to play dead? I wonder why. Like this? Asked Eli, sprawling on his back in the weeds. Perfect, said Vera. Just dandy. Now hold it. Don't you dare budge. Don't wiggle an ear or twitch one whisker. Stay put while I round up the rest of the act. I'll be back in a flash. She's wanting him just to play dead? In a flash, the old vulture was back with her flock of bone-picking friends. And as they came swooping down on the play-acting lion, Vera was shouting instructions. Swarm all over him. Peck, peck, peck. Pinch in, everybody. Make it look real. But don't get too rough. In an instant, the vultures were all over Eli, pecking away at their make-believe feast, squawking and squabbling to make it look real. They're pecking at him like he's dead. In the next instant, the Zubangas came charging over the hill, all set to attack. When they caught the sight of the sprawled-out lion swarmed over by a mob of squawking, pecking vultures, they staggered to a halt, and they gasped in surprise. How could it be, they wondered? Simba, the great cat, done in. What happened? What got poor old Simba? Speared by a rhino, muttered the chief. Or snake bite, no telling what. Anyway, we can't fight a dead lion. So let's call it a day. Hup-po, let's go. Then, grouching and grumbling about their bad luck, the Zubangas turned and went trotting back over the hill. They thought he was dead. Ho, ho, I do believe we fooled them, crackled Vera. But hold everything while I make sure they're gone for good." And she sailed high into the sky to keep a sharp eye on the Zubangas. She kept watching until they were no more than tiny dots off in the distance. Then cheerily, Vera sang out, "All clear, all clear! Come to life, old Eli! Stand up and take a bow! That was some fantastic act! Just super!" "That was no act," said Eli. "I was scared to move." "Scared stiff. You birds did all the acting. You even fooled me. For a minute I thought you might peck me to pieces. What a great bunch of fakers!" "No, no, please," Vera protested. "Don't praise us too much, or we might become too proud. If we ever get too snooty to eat leftovers, we vultures would go hungry. Just treat us with a little respect, and be grateful you have so many good friends to count on." Eli was indeed grateful for his fine feathered friends, and when he invited them to come back to roost in his tumbaba tree, they happily accepted. After that, whenever the old lion flopped down for a cat nap, he peered up into the branches to make sure they were there. The old lion discovered that life was not nearly so dreary and lonely with a tree full of friends for company. And even if they were a bunch of old bone pickers, Eli was ever so proud of them. So at the start of the book, he did not want to be friends with those vultures. And at the end of the book, he was pretty happy to have them for friends. Anyway, right now when you can't be with your friends, I hope maybe you might give them a phone call, or talk to them, or send them a letter, or maybe get on and do a Zoom talk with them. Whatever, I hope you have fun with your friends today. Love you guys. Bye-bye.